All right, hello to everyone joining. How is everyone? Welcome to Temple of Geeks Cosplay Connection. I am Maddie. Cosplay Connection is all about getting to know other cosplayers and their journeys through cosplay. And if you have any questions for our guest, please feel free to leave them in the chat. And with me today is cosplayer Katie. Can you say hello, introduce yourself, and let everyone know a little bit about you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Katie Haynes, Katie Gangel 44 on TikTok. I am mostly known for 13. I do a couple of other cosplays. I live in the States, in the general Illinois area. Not going to get into full specifics, but I am a nerd and I live and die by it. Marvel, Disney, Pokemon, Cardcaptor Sakura, Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is a huge one in my life. One of my major loves, which I think deserves more love, is Van Helsing, which you often see in the back of my shot. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Spider-Man, adore Marvel. Will say this though, while Marvel is, I think, the best at the live movies, nobody beats DC on animated TV shows. Nobody. And I will swear that on my soul. Nothing on this planet. I would say Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes is probably the best Marvel animated show you're ever going to get. Nothing will ever beat Batman the Animated Series.
I love that. Hooray. I think I can agree with that too. I think DC has great animated series for sure.
They really do.
Yeah, for those of you hopping in, feel free to leave any questions if you have any questions for Katie. So when did you start cosplaying?
I started cosplaying in college. That was back in 2008. And my first cosplay, and I got the wig and I designed it, and it was really bad, was Reno from Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children Reno. And then I started to realize that you can buy costumes, you can get them thrift shop wise. One year, and I have the wig. I can show you all. This is my wig closet. The one that you can see up there, that's my Pinkie Pie wig. And I did it where someone gave me a pink dress and I had a cupcake apron. So that was kind of when I started to realize, oh my God, cosplay is this huge thing. I always knew about dressing up, like dressing up for cons or obviously dressing up for Halloween, but I didn't realize it was something that you could just do day to day. And then once I realized that you could do it, I was all over it, and cosplaying characters that I am, aside from a couple of characters, I am someone who will do cosplays that but very few people will recognize. Like, do you guys remember I don't know what that was. Is that me? Oh God. Headphones. Can you hear me?
Ah, there you are. Yes.
That was so weird. That was like we both became Cybermen for a second. But yeah, that was, when I went through a big Loki, Tom Hiddleston phase. Does anyone remember Steve from the Loki sketch with the mustache and the hat with the jar of peanuts? I would go to conventions as that character. So yeah, that was basically around college. That was when I realized, oh, this is a thing, and I can actually do it.
That's awesome. That's so fun. Hey, everyone coming in. We got a party today. We have so many people coming into chat. If you have questions, please feel free to leave them. So what draws you to the characters that you choose to cosplay?
On the one hand, for me, it's whether or not I can pull them off. Personally, I definitely have a lot of self-image issues and a lot of self-worth issues. And if I don't feel that I can accurately get a character down, I won't do it. I know that's a really dumb thing to say because I am someone who is always like, cosplay whoever you want. It doesn't matter. Throw out the hate, throw out any kind of BS like, oh, you can't cosplay that character, you're not white. You can't cosplay that character, you're not the right body type. That's ridiculous. Like, cosplay whoever you want. For me, it's whether or not I feel I can pull it off and whether or not I can, I have a connection to the character. Every single character I cosplay, I've got a connection to. Like, I'm not just going to, the character has to mean something to me. Like, a couple of the, aside from 13, the other characters that I cosplay are Crowley from Good Omens and Castiel from Supernatural. And I really feel that I can embody Castiel, and I can I'm not as sassy as Crowley, but I feel like I can do Crowley justice. So for me, it's, can I do it well in a way that I will feel comfortable doing it, and can I pull it off? One of the hardest cosplays that I do is Weiss Schnee from Ruby. And I love her. I love her character so much, and her development over the seasons is just outstanding. But I'm telling you, her wig is 15 pounds. And I will walk around, and the one time I did her full cosplay, I personally am not good with showing a lot of skin. And if you look at her season 4 and 5 costume up here, there's a lot of skin showing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to save this for the summer months because it can, for me, be very self-conscious. And I admire anyone who is able to do a cosplay with a lot of skin showing. Like, that takes a lot of self-power. Good for you. Go for it. I mean, anyone who knows, I think her Felicia from, what is it? Cat Lady, big blue hair. I've seen that cosplay done in conventions. I'm like, oh my God, you look amazing. So yeah, that's basically just for me.
Yeah. And I think that's important too. I know I saw a lot of comments coming in saying that connection to the character is important. And I feel like that's how a lot of us tend to identify with who we're going to cosplay. You know, once in a while I see an outfit and I go, yep, I don't even know much about the character, but I want that outfit.
Oh,
but connection is so important. And I love that. Absolutely. Hello, everyone coming in. So I know you just mentioned the self-image and, you know, wanting to feel comfortable in the cosplay. Have there been any challenges that you've faced since starting cosplay, whether it's putting costumes together type of challenges, creative, you know, running into creative issues or something like that?
I think the hardest one for me, in terms of, one of the biggest issues for 13 is that while she maintains the same look throughout the entirety of her series, she has little elements that are very, very hard to get a hold of. Like her vest in The Haunting of Villa, I can't pronounce
Dante?
Villa Dante.
Mm-hmm.
I originally had to buy a vest and then draw on it in order to get that done. And for the life, somebody tell me where I can find a Kerblam. Because I cannot, under any circumstances, find a purple vest to do Kerblam. So because I'm someone who's like, I want to do all of her outfits, it's putting together smaller details, I think. And kudos to anyone who does full armor in any kind of fashion, whether it's, you know, plaster or cardboard, or I know that there are some people who do like full metal armor. So if you can put that together, wow, good on you. And especially, I don't know, I've been wanting to mention this. Do you know about TikTok? Obviously you know about TikTok Gala Day. Do you know about In the Park Gala Day?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So this is a thing that does happen. You can look it up. there is a day, and I just learned about it when I was going through in Disneyland. I was walking past one of the major Disney stores. This was a couple of years ago, but I saw two people standing there, and there was one person who had a blonde wig on and was wearing a black overcoat, and there was one person standing there in a bow tie and a fez. And I was like,
Oh, Disney Park Galladay. Is that what you're talking about?
Galladay.
Yes. Okay,
and
yes.
I was like, this is a legit thing. And I swear to you, there was somebody, it is only, to Cosplay 101 Rose, you can only do it in Disneyland. But I saw someone in a full TARDIS ball gown. So I swear that exists, like a full TARDIS ball gown. It is from, I'm going to position it because I'm a very physical person. The whole top is like the police, and then when it gets down to the lower half, you can move the skirt, and the underskirt is the interior of the TARDIS.
That's awesome.
I love it. So yeah, it's for me, it's putting together smaller elements to really do a full cosplay. And I can't get her. I know she has a jumper with her stripes on it. They don't sell that either.
No, and if they do, it's very expensive.
Yes. The character, okay, here's one. If a character is super popular, it's easy to find every single iteration of their costume. If a character is not as popular, or they don't really merchandise that character as much, it's going to be really expensive.
Yeah. I saw 101 Cosplays to See says she knows, I think, were you talking about the vest, I think you said? I know, this dorky nerd, if she's on, I know she's like the queen of finding Doctor Who cosplay pieces.
Yes!
She's someone to go to as well. She's written a few articles for Temple of Geek where you can find certain pieces. So if you guys need something, it's there. A shameless plug for our website.
Hey, go for it. I literally plugged every single person today saying, hey, I'm going to do this. So if you want to watch, come watch.
Totally. Yeah. All right. Hello, everyone coming in. If you guys have any questions for Katie, please feel free to ask in the comments and we will make sure that we get to them. So you take cosplay, I feel like, to a whole nother level. You create some incredible videos that are so heartfelt and fun and uplifting. Is that something that comes naturally for you, or is that something you kind of have to work towards?
It's kind of a three-part answer. One is that, and I will get to that question about 13's voice because it still isn't perfected. But well, I have a background in theater. I've been studying theater since I was about 12. I went to the Chicago Academy for the Arts. That is my home away from home. I have, two hearts, and the Academy definitely has a huge space in one of them. I got my master's in theater. I study the Michael Chekhov acting technique. So it does come from acting. Hey Josh, another part of it is from Jodie herself. And when the pandemic started, she did that wonderful video where she was addressing everyone as the doctor. And a lot of people said, oh, it was geared for kids, but there was something really magical about it for me. And I'm somebody who firmly believes that if you live fully in reality, you're going to be depressed forever. If you live fully in fantasy, you're going to miss the good things that happen in reality. So, to quote a very old and wise man, what's the point in growing up if you can't be a child sometimes? And I was thinking to myself, as someone who also suffers from depression and anxiety and having something of a dark past myself, what would the doctor know, or what would the doctor say about someone having a panic attack or an anxiety attack, or someone who is trapped in an abusive situation, or someone who has come out to their parents and their parents have rejected them? Namely because those are things that we do need to talk about. We need to recognize that we can't just keep dismissing mental health. We can't just keep sweeping things under the rug. One of the reasons I do a lot of videos, one of the reasons that I've never done a Black Lives Matter in 13's cosplay is that I feel that that is too serious and that needs to be addressed directly. That can't take place in the world of fantasy. But for someone who their parents are telling them awful things because they're saying to them, no, I identify as a boy or I identify as a girl. For the, you know, Peter Capaldi said it. Our Time Lords are hundreds of thousands of years old. We have gone way past your petty obsession with gender. And I feel that if I don't know, there's something so great in being able to say, I don't, and you know, and we can go back and forth about whether or not the reaction in Can You Hear Me was okay, which some people hated it, some people thought it was all right. I personally think it could have been handled better, but I don't think it was meant to be a joke. I legitimately think it was the doctor saying, I don't know what to say to a human who I know is going to pass, whether or not it's from cancer or it could have been handled better, but I don't think it was a joke. But for someone who, I don't think the doctor has panic attacks, but the doctor would understand that I don't know what's going on in your mind, but I'm going to stay with you until I'm going to stay with you until this is gone. I'm going to be there with you. I don't know how to make it better, but I can stay here with you. So that if that gave any, it's trying to bring this continue to bring the character to life and to address things that need to be addressed and to give people a little bit of joy. That's why, you know, that's why I do the comfort videos, and I never want to do it just for, I do them sporadically, and I never just want to do them just for views. So I don't just want to say, pop in and say, hey, you know, you're doing great today for the sake of it. And there are times where, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to figure out what more to say. So I'm going to shout out this artist, if I can find her. I bought her cards. If anybody knows Kate Allen, who does the rainbow cat, who does all the rainbow animals. She did like these emotional support cards, and I bought them to give me ideas about what the doctor, you know, what to address, what the doctor could say. Your speed doesn't matter. Forward is forward. And it makes the doctor a happy little turtle. So it's very much in a way of, how can I brighten someone's day? How can I say to someone, I am here for them? And how can we talk about things that, you know, I really should do one. And I wrote this as a fanfic. I suffer from a skin picking disorder. And, you know, that's not something we talk about. So maybe that is to say, you know, self-physical harm, you know, it never really, and I know it never really helps. So, oh, I didn't expect to go this far, this dark.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You know, I'm sure that, you know, the authenticity is so important too. And I think that that's one of the things that, you know, draws, at least me personally, I know most of the people watching to your videos, is they're just so personal and so authentic. And they feel like the doctor. And we have a question. Kat Simile Cosplay is asking, Katie, how long did it take to perfect 13's voice?
It is still something I am working on. It took a while because Jodie's accent, I think even for people who live in the North have said, it's very distinct. Because she said herself, she lives in Huddersfield. And what I did was, I'm actually pretty good at audible mimicry. So if I listen to something enough, you know, I can listen to, honestly, if I was still a bloke, I could get on with the job and not have to waste time defending myself. The hardest thing is when, thank you. The hardest thing is when I have to talk as her and not have a line to mimic off of. So just talking like this, and I don't feel that I've perfected it because one thing that someone taught me is the difference between an Australian and an English accent is how loud, how wide your mouth is. So, and again, this is also coming from acting training and vocal training in college. So someone who is Australian will say fish. Someone who is from England will say fish. So I went on YouTube and I found a video on how to do a Yorkshire accent. And I kept doing, I just kept listening to it over and over again and kept repeating it and experimenting with different words. So I personally don't feel I've perfected it because a lot of times it will slip a little bit more into that Australian thing. And with a northern accent specifically, all of your A's are really, really long. So, okay. And there's certain ways of pronouncing the vowels. So it's still a work in progress.
And it's still so good.
Thank you.
Like that line just blew me away. Like,
oh God, wow, thank you. And again, a lot of that is years of just either mimicry or actors training.
Yes. All right, let's see. Leo in the Leoverse is asking, Katie, what is your favorite thing about 13?
Her energy. She has so much energy and so much positivity. And there are moments where one of my favorite moments is her speech in It Takes You Away to the Solar Tract, where she says, I wish I could stay. And honestly, I would have loved a full episode where she had to stay with the Solar Tract and really develop a friendship with the Solar Tract. And then have to have that speech where they both realize they can't survive together, but they do care about each other. Because she represents love. She represents hope. That's the Doctor overall, but I think every Doctor has one thing that they represent. And she represents hope, and she represents this positive energy, and she will be so serious about something, but then that one little thing happens and she will love it. And she's very, I think of her as the excited child mad scientist. She creates and is so excited about everything. Everything is amazing to her. There is positivity in everything. There is always a chance. Even when she has been told that she is not who she thinks she is, and she has been pushed to her limit, she says, I'm not afraid, because I am so much more than I ever felt possible. And I have to say, shout out to Jo. I'm so blanking on her last name. Martin. Because every single Doctor has that moment where they are the Doctor. And when she goes up to Jodie and says, you're going to love this, and takes her hand, I squealed so hard because I'm like, that's the Doctor. That's the Doctor. But she just has this overwhelming positivity, even in the face of inescapable odds. And she tries so hard to connect with people on a human level, on an emotional level, even if it's something that she can't understand. I love her positivity. I love her weird. That's why I'm so connected with her. Like, there are days when I just sit and I think, she's so positive about everything. She finds the happiness in everything. And I wish I could have that energy again, because I used to be able to run around like crazy and do all the things she was doing. But she makes me so happy, because she is so okay with who she is, even though she says she's socially awkward. She is, and she's so okay with it. This is the best thing ever. I never did this when I was a man. I'm like, I love it.
That's fantastic. That's so fun. I love, yeah, that's amazing. All right, for anyone else,
I'm going real deep here.
hey, that's, you know what, that's okay. I love it. I love it. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. All right, so dream cosplay. If money was no object, you had all of the talent, you could just snap your fingers and something could be made, what would it be?
How much time do you have? Okay, I actually made a list. I made a list, and I'm going to pull it up right now. First of all, here, I don't have any connection to this character aside from the fact that I respect her for eternity for being the queen of fighting games. But have any of you guys seen the trailer for the latest Power Rangers Battle for the Grid? Because they now have, because they put in a Ryu Red Ranger, they have a Chun-Li Blue Ranger who, oh my God, this cosplay, oh my God. I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to try to pull it out. Blue Ranger. I don't think, oh, there it is. Wait, look at that. Just look at how incredible that is. I would absolutely do that. I also would, basically anything 13. If I can, I'm such a crossover lover. Kingdom Hearts 13, Pokemon Trainer 13. I would love to do a Cardcaptor Sakura outfit. I am also, oh God, again, I don't have the body, I don't have the, I don't feel comfortable in myself enough to do it, but I would absolutely love to do a Sailor Moon cosplay. I would love to do a Sailor Moon cosplay. What else have I got? I would, hats off to anyone who can do a full fursuit. I would love to have like a dragon or cat fursuit with wings. Oh God, that would, and I don't know how to pronounce this word. I think it's Jijinka, Pokemon Jijinka, which is the human form of a Pokemon. And I would want to do an elaborate, like multi-layered kimono for Xerneas, Lugia, Jolteon, who I adore, and Lapras. So if I could do any of those and just like kind of walk into the room and have a full, if I did Xerneas, if I could have a full headpiece, like the horns where the lights at the end, like if I could do, no joke, if I could take this Pokemon and have a full headpiece done where it lit up and it wasn't destroying my neck, and I could walk in the room with this long, flowing, elegant robe, even if I'm like, I'm just going to stand here for 5 minutes because this is killing me. I have to pick it off. I'm going to die. But if I could just stand there and have everyone go like, oh my God, like have a Cinderella moment in that way, absolutely 110% would do it.
That's awesome. And I'm all about the crossovers too. I think we had a comment in here, 101 Cosplay Ceci says Disney Who is my life.
Disney Who is the best thing ever.
It really is. Leo Frohan. I apologize if I butchered that. They said, "What's your favorite TikTok memory?"
Oh, well, since Leo was here, I have to give a shout out to my TARDIS fam, who really kind of A, started me on the role play path, and B, Crystal, Leo, David, Sam, uh, Abby, everyone who Jed, everyone who has just kind of exploded into allowing me to become 13 in new ways and continue my acting. Some of my favorite TikTok moments have been like either very, like I did a very dramatic scene with David, where his master said, I didn't have a choice. And 13 just went off on him, saying you've always had a choice. And yeah, of course you didn't have a choice. You know, Saxton wasn't your choice. Killing Bill Potts wasn't your choice. And really just laying into him. The other ones have been comedy ones that have just been the most fun. Literally anything where I'm eating is a great time. And I did one of the first videos I ever did was with a cosplayer called the demon named Jeff, who does one of the best Sacha Dhawan master cosplays you will ever see in your entire life. The fact that he does not have a photograph of himself with Sacha Dhawan is a crime against Whovian. But he did one where he ran into a room. It was like, I see you don't have a lifeguard here on your beach. And I positioned myself, because it says, I'm going to the beach. This is a bathtub. I positioned myself in my bathtub. I had to like maneuver the phone to record it perfectly. It was so much fun. And I was literally holding something that I sent flying. Oh, and yes, I will be, in a weird way, I'm kind of responsible for two members of my TARDIS family getting together. They're getting married, and it has been decided that I am officiating their wedding as 13.
Aw, how fun!
I have to somehow get officiated. I don't know. Maybe
The internet.
Internet. Oh, but
that's so fun.
Anytime. Oh, and okay. I love doing transition videos. I hate doing transition videos because you will have it doesn't matter. You will have a pile of costumes. And with TikTok, it's the hardest thing because you are literally doing take after take after take after take after take. And I am a perfectionist. So I'm like, that jump wasn't right. That the way my hand was moving was not right. I don't look like really 13-y in this moment. And by the end, I'm just like, if that final take was not perfect, I'm gonna slam my head into a wall.
I feel like those of us who do TikTok can totally relate to that. Where we have piles of cosplays on our bed.
Yes.
And all over the floor. You know, when you're trying to film or trying to do, and then when you do transitions and you don't get it right, you have to change back into what you were wearing before. And if you're transitioning with a wig, forget it. Like, it's just
one of the major benefits of, and yes, I'm not okay. Let's get the elephant out of the way. This is not my natural hair color. You can kind of see the roots.
Me neither.
Coming in. I have spent collectively. Let's go. You know what? How many? We got 22 people here. Let's do this. At least 3 versions of her coat, her jumpsuit, her shirts, her red and blue end version, and I just bought a purple version. 2 versions of her scarves, her hair. I probably spent $5,000 on maintaining how I look as 13, which again, never will judge this life choice ever. I'm very happy with this life choice, but it's it's an interesting time.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely no judgment whatsoever. No judgment. We all dive into this world in
Oh
different
yeah.
ways. Um, um, so I think we kind of answered the question, like, what's your favorite part about cosplaying and, being 13? So Doctor Who screen accurate cosplays can be so expensive. We mentioned that earlier.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
have any advice for anyone who might be starting out cosplaying as a Doctor Who character, or where you can find pieces that maybe aren't as expensive, or kind of like how to start?
I would say Etsy and Amazon are your friends. Facebook, Facebook, the marketplace is your friend. I think the most important thing in terms of cosplay is how you feel when you do it. But if you're really set on, for my money, it doesn't have to be screen accurate. I know that there are people who really want to nail the screen accurate look, and I can't 100% say this is where you go or this is where you go. But for me, I'm okay with, so long as I feel comfortable in it, and um so long as I feel that I've got the character down, it's worth it. Yes, thrift, Dork of Life Production, thrift shops. And you can, safety pins, and you can get things tailored. They're a little, it's expensive if you get them tailored. But I don't even think what I'm wearing is screen accurate. Like, I think her coat has a different setup. I think her shirt actually goes all the way around as opposed to just being in the front, because you can see mine cuts off at the seam. So I guess that's a harder question for me, because I don't necessarily feel that you need to go for fully screen accurate. You just need to feel comfortable in what you're wearing and feel that you are the character. Like, my Crowley cosplay is not screen accurate at all. It works. You'd have to look really, really close to see the differences. Same thing with Castiel. The coat's not right. Basically with Cass, all you need is a suit, a white shirt, a backwards blue tie, and a trench coat, and you're good to go. I think, and if anyone does nitpick you for your cosplay not being quote unquote screen accurate, screw them. That's not what the point of this is. Cosplay, I guess the only thing I guess is that if you want to do conventions if you want to do convention circuits as a professional cosplayer, it's gotta be sewn. Like, that's the only restriction. And in that case, I would just say keep at it, because my first cosplay was crap. Keep at it. My first cosplay was crap, and I'm fully willing to admit that. It is much like with anything else. You get better with it at time. You find the character, and it doesn't matter what anyone else says. Cosplay a character that means something to you. Cosplay a character. I don't care how old you are, what your skin color is, what your body shape is. Cosplay the character that means something to you, because I promise you, you put it on, you feel it, you're gonna rock it. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. So that's my kind of like roundabout way of saying, I don't know how to get screen accurate stuff. I have collectively spent way too much on 13 stuff, including specialty items, and my wallet has wept for it. And now that I'm moving, I'm gonna have to cut back. And that being said, one artist did a Moogle drawing, and she's she's done a wonderful 13 animated fan video to the song Karma by, I can't remember the name of the group. It was the same guys who did the song Bang, Let's Go Out with a Bang.
Mhm.
And I mentioned, 13 getting Moogle deliveries in the TARDIS. And she drew that, and now I'm like, oh, Moogle plushes are $65. God darn it. And I did it. I'm proud to say that I did it. And also, I just seeing 101 cosplay here, and anyone who cosplays 13, your incredible self included. I think everyone has that doctor that they would just, I mean, if any doctor showed up right now, if Capaldi slammed open the door and said, get off that call, you're coming with me, I'd be like, yes, sir, sorry, I gotta sign off. Although to be fair, like if Missy ran through the door, I would just drop the phone and go with her. Love Missy, will die by Missy. But for me, there are 3 doctors. There's 8, there's 11, and there's 13. Team tea time, I like to call them, because they're excitable about tiny things and they love tea. But if 13 showed up right now and said, come with me, I don't think there is a way to. There are moments in your life where you just cry. And it's not for any bad reason.
Mhm.
I remember the first time I saw Wicked, and it was with Idina Menzel, and she did Defying Gravity. And I saw her do that, and I burst into tears because I'd never seen anything so beautiful in my life. Final night of being in the Magic Kingdom in Disneyland, when the lights are going down and they say their goodbyes, I cry because there's nothing more. When you have a character that has an embodiment of home to you and connection, whether that is a Sailor Scout or Loki or the Doctor or the Winchesters, someone who speaks to the best part of you, or who has given you something that that you can't beat. Like it's or helps you become a better person, or helps you to remember why you love the oh God. And just going back to like Van Helsing, there's a scene where Anna is about to kill the Frankenstein monster, and he says, no, my life, my job is to vanquish evil. I can sense evil. Whatever this is, evil may have left its mark on it, but evil does not rule it, so I cannot kill it. And that is one of the things that is very much about the Doctor, is that it doesn't, the Doctor will try everything to prevent death. And sometimes it has to happen, with the Daleks or the Cybermen, or although I do want to, I want to do a story where a companion, the title of it is The Bad Dalek. And the Dalek keeps saying, I'm a bad Dalek. I'm a bad Dalek. And you realize throughout the course of the story that the Dalek has emotion. And the Dalek doesn't want to be a Dalek. It wants to go against the idea of hating and exterminating, but it sees itself as the bad Dalek because it's not like the other Daleks. And just have that emotion. Doctor Who has always been political. Doctor Who will always make you think. Doctor Who, sometimes there does need to be a slap in the face, people. We can't keep arguing about climate change. We can't not talk about racism. Last 30 seconds of your Orphan 55 speech will be cut off, but I'm going to stand on this hill to the day I die. Orphan 55 is a decent episode. Off my soapbox, no longer crying.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Everything you just said was so wonderfully put. And I think that that's a really great place to wrap up this Cosplay Connection interview. Thank you, Katie. Thank you for everyone joining. Katie, can you let everyone know where we can find you on social media?
Yes, you can find me here on Facebook. Although doesn't Facebook own Instagram?
Instagram.
Yeah, but okay. All right. So let's go. Handles. TikTok, Katie Gangel 44, and actually the G is a reference to Gabriel's Angel, which is a reference to Van Helsing. That has never left me, never has, never will. Facebook, you can find me at Katie Haynes. I think there are a couple, but I'm a little more selective about who I follow on Facebook. Twitter, you can find me at, let me pull up Twitter. Where am I? Oh my God. Gabriel's Angel 44. And here on Instagram, you can find me at, come on. It's always going to be something along the lines of Gabriel's Angel or Katie Gangel 44. Yeah, it's just Katie Gangel here on Instagram. And Maddie, thank you so much. You do an incredible 13. Your 12 is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I wanna try to help you in some way with your 10 if I can.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. We can talk about it after the show. That would be really fantastic. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, thank you all for coming. For everyone today, you can check out more Cosplay Connection, the last few articles on templeofgeek.com. You can follow Temple of Geek.
Too?
Yeah. So you
oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah. You can follow Temple of Geek here on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. All of our handles are the same at Temple of Geek. Links are all in our bio to find us in different places. My name is Maddie, and thank you all so much for joining, and have a fantastic day.